Welcome into FanDuel TV. Weekend set for Monday Night Football. The Saints soaring to Kansas City, taking on the undefeated champs in what looks to be a thriller.
The MLB playoffs continue. We've got divisional round Game 2 action with the Tigers versus the Guardians and the Royals versus the Yankees.
Over the next 2 hours, we are jumping into same-game parlays, anytime touchdown scorers, top props, and yeah, you can see the ponies. My international race of the hour is not too far away. Megan Payton, Dubs Anderson coming to you live from our Los Angeles studios. And if it's trending in the sports world, we're going to be talking about it. So let's jump in. Monday Night Football not too far away, but let's turn it back to yesterday. Sunday standout, most impressive performance.
The most impressive performance, most impressive win, the Cowboys beating the Steelers 20-17. Now, there was a lot that went wrong for Dallas, but the Cowboys weren't supposed to win this game. Paint you the picture. They're out there in Pittsburgh. It is terrible weather, over an hour-and-a-half delay. The defense wasn't supposed to be good for Dallas. Both DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons out in that game. It was all about the Steelers. Yet somehow, some way, the Dallas Cowboys found a way to win. And that's what the Cowboys' biggest knock is every single year, is they can't win those clutch performances. Dak Prescott had 3 turnovers. What is he doing? Why are they paying him? Well, I'll tell you why they're paying him. Because he made the game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter. There was a fumble. He picked it up. He saved the game. And he is the reason why Dallas is now sitting in a spot where they can build off of some momentum, coming off a road win in those conditions. The Cowboys might have done it ugly, but it was the most impressive win for me for Sunday.
And this could be the jump start they need, trying to find a bit of momentum. But usually when we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, it's Dak Prescott, it's CeeDee Lamb, but welcome in a couple of new additions here. Jalen Tolbert was really strong there, wide receiver. Rico Dowdle, now the clear choice in the running backs.
Those were the 2 names that really stepped up on offense. No Brandon Cooks last night. Jalen Tolbert became that guy for Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb had a pretty quiet night, but you've got to give credit to Tolbert. I mean, where did he come from? 41-yard touchdown. He was the guy that made the plays. 41-yard reception, sorry, but he did make the game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter. And then you mentioned Rico Dowdle. So a lot of concerns and question marks for the run game for Dallas. Well, Rico Dowdle, he showed a little bit of promise. He led the team in rushing yards. He had 22-yard touchdown reception. So if you look at Rico, he could be that dynamic duo guy that you can use in the short game passes, but you can also rely on as your RB1.
I can't believe I'm going to ask you this next question. Was Mike Tomlin our coach? Plain and simple.
You know what? He was. And Mike McCarthy, for the first time in his very, very long tenure as a head coach, got a game ball. Can you believe that?
That's special.
It was his first time, and now the connections for Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh. He's got family out there. But this was a very impressive win, not only for the team, but for the coaching staff. And Mike McCarthy was the one behind it all. I think he made some great game time decisions. And Mike Tomlin, he even said it himself. He said, you got it. What was his line? It was really funny. It was like, there's a fine line between fine wine and stomping on grapes. And for the Steelers, they were stomping on those grapes, and Mike McCarthy was definitely sipping the fine wine.
And that will be a tough one for them to swallow there. Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys coming up clutch. What about the Sunday shock? What's the one that sat you back on the couch there? The game of the afternoon looked to be a very exciting one between the Ravens and the Bengals. OT to find out the winner. Game
of the afternoon. How about game of the season? Ooh. It was an overtime thriller between the Ravens and the Bengals. The Ravens come up with the win, 41-38. And I'll narrow it down. Not only game of the afternoon, game of the season, touchdown of the year for Lamar Jackson. It was a scramble. The play was over. He pushes off a defender. He ends up getting the scramble touchdown to Isaiah Likely in the end zone. And that's what you like to see. That's why Lamar Jackson is one of the best to do it. It was definitely the game of the afternoon.
Truly special stuff there. Lamar Jackson will be featured, I hope, in our MVP Mondays. For the Bengals, is it all doom and gloom now, 1-4 through the first 5 weeks?
No, buy in on the Bengals. I understand they're 1-4 and there's not a ton to like when you look at the difference in the competition in the AFC. But Joe Burrow had nearly 400 passing yards. Jamar Chase, he turned a screen pass into a 70-yard touchdown on offense. Since he is finally clicking, defense is going to have to step up. But luckily for Cincinnati, their schedule does get a bit easier. I think that that they can rally off some wins. And Joe Burrow, he was not quiet in the press conference. He made it very clear that they've got to play at a championship level. They've got to turn things around. But I did like what I saw in offense from them.
Joey Burrow. Monday Night Football not too far away. Saints taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The big theme out of Week 5 so far, the dogs have been barking. So with that, let's jump into a little MVP Mondays, our top performers from the weekend that was. And watch out, here come the Jags. Trevor Lawrence with a big performance, 37-34 over the Colts. And look, Trevor was fantastic, but they almost gave this one away. But well done for Doug Peterson and the lads. They finally get off the schneid.
Are the Jags back? I don't know about that, but I'll buy in on Trevor Lawrence. It was his best game of the season. He was very efficient, and he looked like the #1 overall pick for once. 371 passing yards. He had 2 really, really good deep shots to your guy, Brian Thomas Jr. Trevor Lawrence has to be playing like this week in and week out to compete in a very tough AFC, but they got a divisional win against the Colts. It wasn't very pretty. They almost gave it up, but Trevor Lawrence, you can believe in him just a little bit more because he was making those accurate passes that you want to see.
Let's keep with the quarterbacks. What about the rookies? Can we give like a little group certificate, group trophy award here? Caleb was king. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, they're starting to find a bit of momentum. And Daniels and the Commanders?
This rookie class is looking really good, and they're combining for a lot of wins. Let's highlight the #1 overall pick because we gave Trevor Lawrence some love. The previous #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. This was the most control I've seen him all season long. He looked very comfortable playing against a Panthers team, so yes, it should have been a little bit easier for him. The Bears win 36-10. He went 20 of 29 at 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. And what I like to see is, let's be honest, the offensive scheme for the Bears, it hasn't been fantastic. But to have a rookie come in and show that amount of poise, that's what you want to see. That's the promise you want to see from this rookie quarterback. And to go again over 300 yards, Caleb Williams, he really is starting to look like the #1 overall pick.
The learning curve is getting so much quicker for these rookies coming in to league playing with the big boys. All right, #1 spot. We've teased it, and it's got to be coming from the Ravens-Bengals game. Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson, for a very good reason, MP.
Lamar Jackson is absolutely taking our top performer of the weekend. We highlighted it was the game of the weekend, the game of the year. Lamar Jackson beats the Bengals 4 touchdowns, 348 passing yards, but it was way more than just the stats. We mentioned the touchdown of the year, the scramble. Looked like it was going to be a loss of yards, ends up being a touchdown, 55 rushing yards. I mean, my goodness, aside from the fumble, I will say in overtime, it was nearly perfect performance for Lamar Jackson.
Pretty good against the Bengals. Let's throw that one in there. Lamar Jackson is 9-1 against Cincy. For Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they have got to find a way, but maybe they build a bit of momentum with a favourable schedule going through the next 3 to 4 weeks. So Trevor Lawrence gets that 3rd spot. It's my guy, Caleb Williams and the rookies, and Lamar Jackson taking #1. Let us know who helped cash a couple of those prop tickets late on Sunday before we get ready to do it all again. Let's make some money this hour. We got live racing coming up, the opener stateside, not too far away, but between now and then, a little international in the mix. We get across to Yarmouth for their 7th, Killarney, race number 7, then Fort Erie, 20 minutes past the hour.
A perfect time to head over to the FanDuel Racing app. New customers, there's great promos going on. You can get a no-sweat first bet up to $500. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you over to the FanDuel Racing app. You can download it, play today. We've got Yarmouth, race number 7, just 2 minutes to post time. Maybe you take that no-sweat first bet and play it here, 2 minutes to post time.
Let's jump in and take a look at the field and conditions here. Handicap Class 4 event for the 3-year-olds and up. Going the distance of a mile on the turf course, listed as good to firm. And it's not just 2 minutes out from post time. It's not just 9 minutes past the hour. It's time for my international race of the hour, and we're pointing it towards the 7th here. It's Terry's Royale. 2 wins from the last 3 starts, red hot form, and actually gets a softer spot here for the 7th today and comes in for a high percentage trainer. So you're going to have to move quickly, but the number 4 at 3-1 Terry's Royale to get the score here in the 7th. And it looks like the sun is shining on a glorious-looking Monday afternoon.
And not only for the 4 who'll be going off from post position 5, having that recent form with the 2 wins in the last 3, but going the mile, which is what they'll be going here today. So you know has that success at the distance. 2 wins out of the 4 times going the route of ground. It's for the 3-year-olds and up. It's a handicap event. They're out there on the turf, as you can see. The 7, though, is the favorite, sitting at 3-2. Never Better will be going off from post position 2 with the 1 win and 5 starts.
Comes in amidst a really strong run of form there. That is the 7, Never Better, and will be the top choice of the public. Sitting there at 3-2. We just await the final couple of runners and we'll be set for a start. Getting a good look here at the 3. Comes in for Simon and Ed Cresford. Middling form the last couple of starts. Gets the blinkers off here today, looking to turn it around. And Repertoire is the 2. Looks like they're just about set.
We will send it out on course. This is race 7 from Yarmouth.
Ready and away and racing. Jumping out over 1 mile for the Royal Marines Association Handicap Stakes. With the noseband, Terry's Royale, the green and red colours, first one to begin, along with the filly Daisy 2 in those yellow and blue colours. Away toward the right-hand side there is Urban Lion. Close up with them is Never Better in those white and green colours. Repertoire is next. And now with Jim Crowley on board. Tribal Chief follows in the blue and the beige. More near side in the yellow colours is Nagata. That one then followed closely by Dream Pirates in the light blue. And then blue with a white cap at the back there, Where's Freddie? But a tightly grouped field as they continue their journey up the home straight. About to race inside the final 5. It's Terry's Royale and Ali Rawlinson with a lead of about a half a length over Urban Line, those green and blue colours. From Daisy 2 in 3rd, then Never Better and Nagata completing out the leading 5. Dream Pirates behind those, with Repertoire is still being held up just off them. And then came Never Better, who's also been held up for the run just in behind the Principals. Where's Freddie there towards the left-hand side, trying to move up with that white cab. On they go inside the final 2.5 furlongs shortly. And it's Terry's Royale with the noseband leading from Urban Line. Never Better has got the gap in behind in the white jacket. Tribal Chief is challenging over on the far side. Here comes Where's Freddie? Dream Pirate ridden for more, then Daisy 2. On they go toward the final furlong. Terry's Royale joined by Tribal Chief over on the far side. Never Better trying to get organised. Then came Urban Line and Where's Freddie? But it's Tribal Chief who's doing this pretty cosily out in front under Harry Davis and will win this with Harry looking around for dangers that aren't there. And it's Tribal Chief to win again. From Terry's Royale in 2nd, then back in 3rd, Never Better, followed by Urban Line clear from Where's Freddie.
The 6 Tribal Chief gets the win in race 7 from Yarmouth, makes that 4 wins and 9 starts and the 3rd win in a row.
Goes off at 3-1. It gets the hat trick out there this afternoon. A close one in the minors, so we'll have to hold off and wait until those prices go official. But well done if you had the 6 in the 7th from Yarmouth.
With that, we'll sneak in a quick commercial timeout on the other side. Time to take a look back at the weekend in the sport of horse racing, the top performers when we return. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We're getting set for some more international racing. We've got the 7th from Killarney, just 1 minute to post time. As you can see, they're out there on the turf. It's a maiden special weight. They're going 1 mile and 3/8, and they are ready to go.
And away they go in the Killarney race's final farewell to 2024 maiden over 1 mile and 3, heading up the straight. Flatfest towards the outside. In the white and purple colours, the early leader. Over towards the inner is Colourful Lil, tracking the leader down the outside. Realism. In the centre is Cast a Spell. Over towards the inner in orange is Nelson Muntz, and in the stripes at the back is Betty Dutton as they head up. In front of the stands, Flatfest going along in front for Rory Cleary, leads by about 3 lengths. Sharing second spot, Colourful Lil, Darrow Sullivan the inside of Realism, Dylan Brown, McMonigal. Break of about 3 then to Nelson Muntz and Wayne Hassett. Alongside that one, Cast a Spell, Billy Lee. And at the back, as they turn to head up the far side, is Betty Dutton under Joey Sheridan. Less than a mile to race. Flatfest has increased the lead to best part of 5 lengths over Colourful Lil. Realism remains third. Nelson Muntz next. Cast a Spell to the outside, and Betty Dutton a little closer on the inner as they head to the elbow. On the far side of the track, Flatfest bowling along in front. Leads by about 3 lengths to Colourful Lil in second. Then Realism. Nelson Muntz has improved between horses. On the inside, Betty Dutton. And at the back of the field is Cast a Spell as they continue on this long run that brings them into the bottom turn. Out in front, Flatfest from Colourful Lil second. The next trio close together. Realism the outside, Betty Dutton the inner, between them Nelson Muntz. And at the back, just nudged along for a few strides, is Cast a Spell as they begin the left-handed swing that will bring them across into the straight over 1/2 mile to race. Flatfest leads by 3. Colourful Lil in second. Betty Dutton the inside. Realism pushed along on the outer of Nelson Muntz, and driven at the back is Cast a Spell as they swing in with over 3 furlongs to race. Flatfest coming up the centre of the track. Towards the outside, trying to challenge both Realism, and widest of all is Cast a Spell. Nelson Muntz coming there over towards the inner in the orange, and just behind that one on the extreme right, Betty Dutton. Colourful Lil behind them as they continue on with less than 2 to race. Spread across the track, Realism, and the outside Cast a Spell. On the far side, Nelson Muntz. Heading to the furlong pole, Nelson Muntz over on the far side. Realism in the centre, near side Cast a Spell. Behind him is Betty Dutton, but inside the final furlong, fighting it out. Over on the far side, Nelson Muntz. Near side is Cast a Spell. They've gone on from Realism. 50 yards to race. Nelson Muntz and Cast a Spell. That's tight. It's on the nod between Nelson Muntz and Cast a Spell. Realism a close third, clear of Betty Dutton.
It was a close one between the 6 and the 2, but it looked to be the 6, Cast a Spell, getting the win, and if so, would be going off at 4 to 5 with the second win and 17th start.
Hold all tickets. We'll wait until those prices go official, but it was a close one out there in the 7th from Killarney. Let's turn it to MVP Mondays, the weekend that was in the sport of racing.
All right, number 3, Carl Spackler was special in the Coolmore Turf Mile from Keeneland.
A gate-to-wire victory from out there at one of the great ballparks in the business. Let's take a look at the stretch run.
Spackler has the lead. Carl Spackler in front. And here comes Spirit of St. Louis on the outside. Running B toward the inside, then Talk of the Nation. Mountain Bear is a wide 5th. And Carl Spackler, it looked for just a moment that they were bearing down on him. Now he hits another gear. He's got the lead back out to 3.5. More Than Looks is coming stoutly late. But here's the wire. Carl Spackler wins the Coolmore Turf Mile.
It was Chad Brown combining with Tyler Gaffalione. Already had entry into the Breeders' Cup Mile, but fresh off that first Grade 1 score, did not disappoint as the favourite out there at Keeneland. A win and you're in to the Breeders' Cup Mile. That's that 3rd spot. Who's getting the silver medal from this weekend?
All right, number 2, it was the front runner East Avenue who went north in the Breeders' Futurity.
It wasn't so straightforward. Drama, but was unmatchable, was uncatchable once it was all said and done. East Avenue.
Working into the final furlong of the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, maintains a 5-length lead back to Ferocious in second. Dapper Moon is third. East Avenue will prove much the best. In the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, Tyler Gaffalione checks over his shoulder. A widening margin at the wire for East Avenue.
It was a front-running victory, but the drama was as they were going into the starting gate, as they hit that first turn, but well done to the Godolphin team. Brendan Walsh, the conditioner, and again, top pilot Tyler Gaffleone coming up with a well-timed performance and punches the ticket into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Del Mar the first weekend of November.
All right, MVP Monday, our number one spot across the pond in France. It was Blue Stocking who came up big in the Group 1 arc.
Trained by Ralph Beckett, Rosa Ryan aboard for the ride. Arguably one of the biggest victories when the two combine. And take a look at this finish. Absolutely savaged the wire.
Through his Aventure, then Sunway Delius, but it's Blue Stocking who hits the front inside the 300. Los Angeles in second. Aventure tries to run on, then comes Sozi into the last 150 meters. Blue Stocking, a length and a half advantage, trying hard. Aventure to close, supplemented, and it was so worth it. Blue Stockings won the arc.
Was supplemented just to get into the big field, and this truly is one of the highlights of the international calendar, bar none. Blue Stocking taking down the arc. Rosa Ryan enjoying that time in the spotlight, and notably so. We'll punch that ticket into the Breeders' Cup Turf, the $5 million big event coming up later this year. So in that one spot, Blue Stocking taking down the arc. It was East Avenue going north in the Breeders' Futurity, and it was Carl Spackler with another one in the Coolmore Turf Mile. Let us know who takes your top spot, maybe who we missed out on for that Breeders' Cup. The World Championships approaching quicker and quicker.
MVP Monday is in the books, but how about the bad beats? Bad beats vented out when we return. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We're getting set for the opener from Fort Erie. It is 0 minutes to post time, a 5-horse field where the favorite, the 4, loads into the gate sitting at 2-5. They'll be going to mile 16th. It's a claiming event for the 3-year-olds and up. The fillies and mares will send it out on course.
And they're off. Hot Omelet broke to the outside, but is showing speed up the rail. Capture My Dreams and Orbiting the Sky. Between them is Mimi's Holiday. Dropping back early is Little Fire. They race into the opening turn. It is on the inside, Capture My Dreams, who has a short lead over the 1-5 favorite, Hot Omelet, who's racing well off the rail. Orbiting the Sky is stalking the pace in third. It's a gap of 3 more to Mimi's Holiday, and at the back, Little Fire. The opening quarter was 24 seconds flat. Capture My Dreams now feeling the heat from Hot Omelet as they turn into the backstretch. Orbiting the Sky in a good position from third, about 4 lengths off the leaders. Another 4 to Mimi's Holiday, and now off the fence comes Little Fire. They race within the 5 furlong pole, and now Hot Omelet takes the advantage from Capture My Dreams. The lead is 3/4 of a length. Orbiting the Sky is inching closer from third. Mimi's Holiday and Little Fire both also begin to gain ground. 48 and 3 to the half. It is Hot Omelet on top, but Capture My Dreams is coming right back on. Little Fire is moving well in the 3 path with Orbiting the Sky. The new trailer is Mimi's Holiday. Hot Omelet now shakes clear of Capture My Dreams, but about to be headed by Orbiting the Sky and Little Fire. Midway round the turn, it's Hot Omelet by a length. Orbiting the Sky second, Little Fire third. Capture My Dreams still there from fourth on the inside. Under a ride at the back is Mimi's Holiday. 3/4 and 114 flat. They swing for the drive. It's Hot Omelet under encouragement. Room up the inside for Orbiting the Sky, and Little Fire is right there from third. Hot Omelet clinging to the lead. Orbiting the Sky on the inside. Little Fire is trying. Hot Omelet resurging again. It's Hot Omelet. She's found another gear. She's up by 2. Orbiting the Sky, one last push. 70 yards to the wire. It's Hot Omelet on top. Hot Omelet doubles up. It's Hot Omelet by 1.5. Orbiting the Sky second, then Little Fire and Capture My Dreams. 1 mile and 1/16 and 147 and 4.
4-2-5. Hot Omelet gets it done in the opener from Fort Erie. It was very impressive. Once they turn for home, it just starts to get better with every stride. Going off there at a short price of 1-4. So hopefully, if you jumped in and played the multis, take the single, survive, advance, move on to that next one. So as we wait for those prices to go official, we're going to bring it back in to the FanDuel Clubhouse and talk a little bad beats, because nothing makes me happier early on a Monday, MP, than talking about bad beats and all those near misses from the weekend slate.
I couldn't be more upset with field goal kickers this season. I know they're having a great year, but that's the problem. Bills, Texans, this felt like, oh, we're looking good. Bills have the momentum. It was all Buffalo's game. What are we doing, Sean McDermott? Why in the world are you throwing it 3 times in the end zone instead of just getting a few extra yards, giving the kicker a little bit of space, punted away? No. They gave up that game. The Texans ended up winning. I had it in a 3-leg parlay, so you can tell I'm a little bit frustrated. I guess not as much with the kickers. This one's on the Bills coaching staff. What are we doing? Why are we giving the Texans the game?
Is it this one or is it this one? MP, a little salty on Monday. We had a good wagering weekend, but as you can see, social media over my shoulder, an absolute blaze. So the Broncos, they get another tough victory. 3 on the trot there for Bo Nix. The Cowboys, they were fantastic. Sunday night football, ground and pound. I'll tell you what about the Dolphins? Are they back? 15 points, MP. This is a bad beat for me. I had a team total play on the Miami offense. They couldn't get it going, but I guess well done to Snoop Huntley. Maybe they found a little bit of that spark.
Bad beat might have been watching that game. That was an ugly game. It was not fun. Hopefully you changed the channel and put on Bengals Ravens. But yeah, it's funny because we're sitting at week 5 now, almost wrapped up. We just have Monday Night Football, and there's really not that clear juggernaut of a team. I mean, we're talking about the Ravens as the best team in the AFC, maybe the NFL. And then the Bills, they blew that one, but the Bengals keep that close. So you love to see the even playing field that it really feels like the NFL is right now.
Okay, I'm going to throw a game at you on Sunday. Actually, have you ever played charades? You've got to guess the game that I'm talking about.
Okay, all right, let's go. This is fun. Oh, you walked away?
It's
okay,
Deshaun Watson. I'm back.
Okay, Deshaun Watson.
Done. But the Commanders, I mean, what a season they're having.
All right, we're going to go off on Deshaun Watson here for a second. Credit to Jaden Daniels. Commanders look great. Best in the NFC East. We got that. But what is going on with the Cleveland Browns? To give it a little bit of context, it did look like Deshaun Watson ran off and just gave up on the Browns. Now, apparently there was 12 men out on the field, and so they didn't want to take the penalty. Whatever, field goal unit comes out, is what it is. But the attitude from Deshaun Watson, he's getting paid $230 million guaranteed. The Browns are 1-4. Deshaun Watson hasn't had a game of over 250 passing yards. He doesn't look like a franchise quarterback. He doesn't look like a starter. He doesn't even look like a backup quarterback in the NFL. And I don't know why Kevin Stefanski is so big on staying with Deshaun Watson. After the game, it was a terrible beat. Everyone kind of thought this was a trap game for Commanders. Browns could find a way to win. They don't. They look terrible. And Stefanski says, we've got our quarterback. We're sticking with our quarterback. This is a perfect example of don't double down on your mistake. Don't double down on a bad choice. The organization clearly messed up by giving Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. But it doesn't mean you stick with it, even if the performance is that bad. You've got Jameis Winston in the locker room. You've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's definitely shown a little bit of promise. If you want to complain about being in quarterback purgatory, yet you still stick with the same guy that's making the same mistakes, well, then you're the one giving up. So Cleveland Browns fans, vent it out. Your organization is falling apart.
And it's not just the mistakes on the field I'd be a little concerned about there as well. So maybe a quarterback change not too far away. And I tell you what, for the Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, what were they doing there to finish off that game? Trying to get my guy to air it out and just giving up a field goal?
That was, it was the worst beat for me of the weekend. I really thought Bills had that one. At least Sean McDermott owned it in the press conference. He's like, that was on me. I think that on one hand, they think, all right, it's Josh Allen. This is the guy we rely on. He's going to air it out, get us those extra yards, and then maybe we can avoid overtime in total. But no, Houston goes, gets it back. They kick the field goal. They win.
It's what it's all about, the beauty of betting and sports wagering. Anyone can post those flashy tickets. We want to hear about those near misses or maybe those potentials, the what could have beens on Sunday afternoon. We got plenty of live wagering, not too far away. So with that, we'll sneak in a quick commercial timeout. On the other side, we're talking a little Monday Night Football. Can the Saints soar against the reigning champs?
I said earlier this week that I do think that this Monday night game is a huge upset potential spot, and I'm going to stick with that because I do think that the Saints are going to pull this out. Now, I am going to play conservatively and take the points, even though there's a lot lining up for this to be an upset here. I mean, the Chiefs' offense hasn't fully clicked, and now they just lost their best receiver on top of having already lost Pacheco. And then you go over to the Saints side with an offense that has exploded multiple times, a rock-solid defense, tons of veteran leadership, and exciting playmakers. And one of those playmakers is Alvin Kamara, who I cannot believe we are getting at this price. 6 touchdowns already, and he's getting almost 25 touches a game. So even if you think that he won't put up huge yardage numbers, he has a way of finding the end zone with how often he gets the ball around the goal line. So that's what I'm liking for Monday night, but what do you like? You can let me know by placing your bets on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
Thank you, Allie. We've got Monday Night Football, and thank goodness it's not a doubleheader. I like the single game. I want to focus. I don't want multiple TVs on Monday Night Football, and it's going to be a good one tonight. It's the Saints versus the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Kansas City laying 5.5 points. Allie's on the Saints. Public's on the Saints. 66% of the bets on New Orleans on the spread and on the money line. Are we buying in on the Who Dat Nation?
Oh, come on now. I think this is going to be a fantastic marquee matchup to round out Week 5. And the big trend coming in, underdogs by 5.5 point favourites, by 5.5 points or more going against the favourites. Obviously, their dogs 19-23 covering the spread. I think we've got a really good chance of getting it done here. The Saints showed us everything that they're sitting on in the first couple of weeks. 91 points combined. They sort of flattened out through Week 3, Week 4, but I think they show up ready to play here. What a spot this looks to be for Derek Carr and an offense where there's no shortage of weapons. You know, some of these wide receivers can absolutely get vertical downfield in a hurry. So I think we could see a lot of points, but give me the Saints at 5.5. If you want a bit more adventure in your life, I think they're absolutely primed up in trying to take down the undefeated champs. So I think they're live on the money line, but 5.5 gives us a bit of security.
The Saints are better than their 2-2 record suggests. I know Kansas City sitting undefeated 4-0. But look, the New Orleans weapons are rolling. AK, Olave, Rashid Shaheed. They're definitely going to put up a fight against Kansas City. So you're taking the Saints to cover the spread as leg 1. What about leg 2? Maybe a player prop.
Okay, we've seen plenty of points. And unfortunately for the Kansas City Chiefs, Rashid Rice, this is a massive loss. But what does that tell us? Well, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, welcome back. Haven't seen Tay-Tay for a couple of weeks. I'm just saying. At 56.5, this number's already jumped up to 58.5 at the FanDuel Sportsbook. So a lot of bettors jumping in to play the overs on Killer Trav. Last week, he finally found that groove with quarterback Patrick Mahomes. 7 for 9, 89 yards. He's probably going to get one into the house, but he will be that primary target, that primary weapon for the Chiefs offense in trying to get it down the field. And there's no questions about the chemistry. Maybe the big fella enjoyed his offseason. He's now got that fitness. He's looking really good again.
Yeah, no Rashid Rice. We cannot highlight that enough. The speed on this offense is gone with Rice not playing. And so now you've got to rely on the guy that's luckily done it a bunch of times and someone that you have really good chemistry with. It's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So Kelce over his receiving yards. And how are we ending this parlay? What's the third leg?
I do think we've got some very exciting wide receivers, some home run hitters, if you will. The likes of Xavier Worthy, Rashid Shaheed. He's going to be fantastic. Chris Olave. So I think we will see plenty of points. At 43.5, that total is far too light for me. This is going to be back and forth, track meet. Both teams going north of 20 points. So 43.5, I think it's far too low. Patty Mahomes, he's going to light it up. My guy Derek Carr, fast car, not too far behind him. Let's see plenty of offense for this one.
43.5 is the game total. You're taking over. So we need a big night from Travis Kelce, but the Saints offense to step up and maybe a little AK to go all over the place. You parlay these three together, you're at plus 449. Can the Saints win it straight up?
Absolutely they can. You threw out Alvin Kamara. I've got a little play for AK. Ooh. Not too far away in the show, but this is my favorite parlay for the night. 1, 2, 3 plus 449. Saints absolutely live. This could be a little trap spot for the Kansas City Chiefs. I've got a couple of hard-hitting questions that you're going to have to answer as well about this game.
Monday Night Football. It's the undefeated Chiefs taking on the Saints at Arrowhead Stadium, and you can tail Dubs' parlay or make your own on the FanDuel Sportsbook. A great time to head over to the Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets. And maybe you already are a customer. All customers get a profit boost every single NFL game day. So scan the QR code, head over to the Sportsbook today.
A lot of different ways to jump in and play. Let's start with race number 1 from Parks. Racing stateside just 3 minutes out. Claiming event for the 3-year-olds and up, going 6 furlongs on a fast course. We've got the 3 sitting at 3-2 as your favourite. Ruben Silveri gets aboard for Jamie Ness. So no surprises here. The connections really starting to see a lot of attention. But here is the one, Why Not Babe?
Why Not Babe leads them out on course sitting at 8-1, has 2 wins and 19 starts. Comes in off a 4th place performance, but prior to that, finished 3rd, was a winner 3 back, has a bit of early speed, but still sitting at a bigger price.
Could be setting the tone in this one. Catalina Cruisin', Paco Lopez, the difference maker, gets in the irons for the ride today.
Here's the 3, Rummett, sitting at 3-2. 2 wins and 9 starts, also has some early speed, a runner-up last out, and a winner 2 back.
Next through is the 4 Raikou early speed and bunches here. The 3-year-old filly looks strong two-back, stepped it up in grade last out, didn't fare so well. Gryphon's Wings is the 5. Alicia Ruiz, certainly a pilot to watch.
Here's Aztec Bay sitting at 27-1. Just the 2 wins in 28 starts. Hasn't had the best record at the distance. Did finish in the money two-back.
Miss Neo is the 7. 2 wins from 4 starts for the season. Was very impressive last out on the 11th of August.
Here comes the 9, Something Silly, sitting at a big price of 36-1. Morning line was 15-1. The 3-year-old filly got a win two-back, 2 wins in 10 starts.
Should be coming from off the pace as well. And here is the 10, Far Hard at 38-1. So the 2 biggest shots on the board. The outside 2 runners, the 9 and the 10. That is your field for race number 1 from Parks. Just a minute to post time. You can see my top endorsement up there on your screen. It will be the inside runner here, the 1, Why Not Babe, sitting at 7-1. Just gets a nice little, rail starting position, second off the layoff. So I think there's a bit more fitness to give in this spot. And just having that early speed, the game plan, it will be decided for us. So in search of the second win for the year, has a really good chance at a bit of a price going against the favourite.
Were you surprised to see the numbers still kind of sticking at 7-1 with the recent form being pretty good? You mentioned the 3rd place performance two-back, the win 3-back, getting the second start off the layoff. The early speed definitely going to be a factor here today.
Yeah, a little shocked that we're so chilly on the board, but I guess a little less surprising is Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera taking favouritism here with the 3, now sitting at 8-5. Was a winner two-back, was a runner-up last out at this same level of competition. And if you look at the speed figures, essentially like the player ratings in the sport of racing, a lot suggests that it should be the 3 as the 1 to beat, but at 3-2, I think a little vulnerable.
The 7 taking some money, sitting at 5-2. The 7, Miss Neo, comes in with 2 wins and 9 starts, coming off a winning performance in the last out, but hasn't raced in a little bit of time.
Yeah, if we can figure out the start, watch out for the 7 there at 5-2. Completely missed the jump. Missed the break last out, but still found a way to get back in that race and absolutely run away from them. And gets back to the 6 furlongs here today. And it looks like we're almost set. So let's send it out there. It's time for the Monday opener from Parks, and it's Jessica Parkett with the call.
Raikou. Next one. Now we're just waiting on Something Silly and Far Heart. And now they're all in. Off and racing in the Monday opener. A bit of a slow start for the favorite Rumit. She broke towards the back. Why Not Babe hustling up to the lead in between horses. Raikou, Far Heart, those 3 have some speed. Raikou sticks her neck in front. Why Not Babe counters into second. Far Heart in third. Aztec Bay, she's in 4th. Motoring up the rail. Rumit, after that slow start, she's in 5th and gaining right to her outside. Catalina cruising. Going in reverse, Gryphon's Wings. Then it's Something Silly, the early trailer. Miss Neo, battle on the front end. Raikou and Why Not Babe. Nothing really separates those 2 as they make their way into the far turn. 23 flat for the opening quarter, and Why Not Babe has wrestled the lead back from Raikou. Then back into 3rd, Far Heart. Rumit, she's in 4th. Catalina Cruz in 5th. Aztec Bay losing some ground. Miss Neo. Then at the back, still Something Silly, and all the way at the back, Gryphon's Wings. Why Not Babe takes them through the far turn. There's about a quarter mile left to go. She's had pressure the entire time from Raikou. Those 2 have been swapping off the lead. They hit the top of the stretch on the inside. Why Not Babe maintains that tenuous advantage on the outside. Raikou running a very big race, making up some ground. Far Heart to the inside. Miss Neo closing gamely, trying to reel in Why Not Babe. She has the lead on the outside. Miss Neo looks like the main danger. 16th left to go. Why Not Babe. Rumit also getting in gear late. Why Not Babe looking for the wire, and Why Not Babe, she gets it done. Photo for second between Miss Neo and Rumit.
It wasn't play of the hour, but the 1 got it done. Your top endorsement, Why Not Babe, gets the score. 3 wins and 20 starts from the opener out of Parks.
Got a nice setup there. The inside starting position went forward early, took a bit of pressure off the 4, but as they hit the lane and turn for home, had plenty left to give there. We're second up this afternoon and just going to get to that wire in time. It was pretty game here late in the race. The 7 trying to charge on, but it just wasn't enough. 1-7-3 in the opener from Parks. Well done if you had Why Not Babe up on top. It's a bit of a price.
An upset in the opener. We'll wait till those prices go official. We move back out to some international racing. We've got the 8th from Yarmouth, just 2 minutes to post time. Handicap Class 6 event for the 3-year-olds and up. They're going to sprint 6 furlongs out there on the turf. The 3 is a scratch. The 8, Marching Mac, is the favorite, sitting at 2-1.
Taking a look at the conditions there, the 6 furlongs, so a little sprint out there on the turf course. Looks to be a fantastic afternoon over there at Yarmouth. The chances here for Marching Mac, the 8, starting from post position 5. The recent form's been really strong, but this will certainly be a step up in class. So that win 2 back, we're going to have to need a bit more improvement to get it done again here today. But this 3-year-old certainly looks to be a progressive one. So a 2-1, not a bad number. The 10 sits at 9-2. That is realised. Gets to start from the inside there for Harry Eustace in the barn. The blinkers come on here today, trying to turn around the recent struggles. And again, this is another tough step up coming back in here for the 8th. And as you can see on the right, they're racing stateside from Thistledown. They're open at just 6 minutes out from post times. Every couple of minutes, new wagering, new races, new tracks coming into the mix, but we'll stick with Yarmouth, I believe, as we just await the final couple of runners to go into that starting gate. There is the 9, big price of the field there, 43-1, World of Darcy, who adds the blinkers on here today and has been at this level, so well suited to the class.
We are almost set for the 8th from Yarmouth. 5 minutes to post time for the opener at Thistledown, where the 2 is the favorite, sitting at even money. But we are going to hone in on Yarmouth, race 8. They're almost set as the 11 loads into the gate, sitting at 9-1. That is Morin Please, comes in with 1 win and 27 starts. We'll send it out on course.
They're off. Racing away 6 furlongs for the Get the Inside Track with racedayready.com. A handicap stakes. Handy early on is King of War. Those red and white diamonds are the cheap pieces. Down the centre, there's Marching Mac. Nicely back beforehand. Over toward the right-hand side is Dusk Dame. Splitting the pair of them now is World of Darcy. Another length away to realise the far side, the yellow and purple. More down the centre is Spiritual Pursuit. Then came the white of Kurimu. Further back to Flying Secret, going by more Gin Please. And Snowberry is the back marker. They'll soon be up towards halfway. King of War towards the near side. Red and white, the cheap pieces. Marching Mac down the centre. That yellow jacket. Far side there is World of Darcy, who's racing alongside Dusk Dane, then realised over toward the far side as well. Then Kurimu trying to stick on a bit. Snowberry starting to get rolling more near side, making the way down towards the final furlong and a half, and it's World of Darcy who's now moved through to lead under Laura Pearson. Goes on from Dusk Dame, and then came the ridden along Marching Mac, realises trying to stick on, and then Kurimu inside the last now. It's a right battle, World of Darcy, and realised between them Dusk Dame, and then came Marching Mac, but it's World of Darcy's found extra, and World of Darcy will go on to win. World of Darcy from home in second, realised. Then came Dusk Dame, followed in by Marching Mac and Kurimu, and then more Gin Please.
A massive upset in the 8th from Yarmouth, 9-10-5, your unofficial order of finish. The 9, World of Darcy, gets the win at 31-1. It makes that 3 wins and 19 starts.
Monster price there. Well done to John Ryan and all of the team getting this 3-year-old to fire with a big performance like that one. Monster prices coming through early on a Monday. Things you love to see. With that, we'll wait until the prices go official. Time to turn to a little Monday Night Football, MP.
We've got the Chiefs taking on the Saints out there at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are undefeated. Saints sitting at 2-2. Now, you already built us a same-game parlay. You're backing the Saints to cover, plus 5.5. You like a lot of points in this game, taking the over. But now we turn it to player props. Top props. There's plenty of ways to play Monday Night Football. Who's got your attention?
It's star quarterback for the Saints. Look, they put up 91 points for the first 2 weeks. Let's get back to that version of Derek Carr at 211 passing yards. I think this number is far too light, and if you look at the game script and you think that the Saints are going to be coming from behind, he's going to have to air it out. He's going to have to get it downfield. Chris Olave, you've got Shaheed. They've both been fantastic revelations this season, finding that best form. At 211, I think we could get to 250 plus. I really do think the game total is going to fly well north of 43.5, and with that, Derek Carr gets back to that early season form, this is the home for Carr. He has looked so comfortable. I know the last couple of weeks it's sort of flattened out, but this is a really good spot for him.
And one thing about Derek Carr, he definitely has the experience playing at Arrowhead, being previously with the Raiders. And the Chiefs run a lot of press man coverage, so I think the Saints will be able to exploit that. They're going to be moving the ball down the field, trying to get to those open guys like Olave, Rashid Shaheed. All right, prop number 2. Are we sticking with another Saints player? Where are you headed?
Let's correlate it. Let's take it to Shaheed here. And we're going to take Shaheed's longest reception of the night at 21.5. Now, he's had 3 or more at 25 plus. This guy can fire off a 60, 70-yard dinger. This will be the #1 deep threat. Can absolutely get it down there vertical with that speed. So for Rashid Shaheed, his longest reception to be over 21.5. Again, all these bets for me that I'm handing out, top props, anytime touchdown scorers, all correlated with a high-scoring affair. And Shaheed has been fantastic through the first 4 weeks, getting set for another blockbuster. Had a bagel 2 weeks ago. Just put a line through that one. Shaheed is an absolute superstar with speed to burn.
And how fun has this offense for the Saints been under Clint Kubiak? They're opening it up. It is a lot of play action pass, but then every now and then you'll see that Derek Carr deep ball, throw it long, and get your guy Rashid Shaheed involved. All right, round us out. Last top prop for Monday Night Football.
Throw it, Derek. Get it downfield for me. All right, I've got an interesting play here at the FanDuel Sportsbook. A touchdown to be scored in each quarter, plus 185. It's the Saints, it's the Chiefs. Expecting to see a lot of points. Derek Carr, he's going to be in his bag. Patty Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the business. Maybe the stats don't support, but they're chasing a third Lombardi. They're certainly capable of special stuff. This guy, Travis Kelce, fresh off a season best last out. A touchdown to be scored in each quarter. It's that simple. It'll be a nice little sweat. Plus 185, so you're getting that plus money as well.
Points, points, points. And yeah, Derek Carr is going to have to throw it. The Chiefs blitz at the 5th most in the NFL. So quick release from Derek Carr tonight and a lot of points. Those are the 3 top props. It's Derek Carr, Rashid Shaheed, and points in every single quarter. Monday Night Football is Chiefs, Saints, and you're giving Who Dat Nation a little bit of a chance.
Let's go. I think they're live straight up. I love them grabbing the 5.5 points. That's what we're doing here on FanDuel TV, trying to make you guys a couple of bucks as we start off a new wagering week. And of course, plenty of great racing. The World Championship's not too far away. There was a lot on the line over the weekend and a lot to play for this Monday. So let's get set for the second from Fort Erie. We're already seeing the 2 runner out there on course. Alexis Sanchez gets aboard, sitting there at 16-1.
Here comes the 3, final run for Love, sitting at 2-1. 5 starts, 2 finishes in the money, yet to get a win, but all these horses looking for their first win. It's a maiden claiming event. They're going the 6 furlongs for the 3-year-olds and up.
Silent Summit is the 4 at 12-1. It's starting to drift in the market. It was 4-1 on the morning line, so being disrespected here by the bettors. Best and Final, the 5, the 6-year-old gelding, has had 6 starts for the year, 4 finishes in the money, but yet to get in the winner's circle.
Here's the 6, Sing Dixie, sitting at 8-5. Should be coming off the pace. Failed as a favorite the last 3 outs, but finished 3rd in the last one, so 6 in the money finishes and 24 starts.
That's your field for race number 2 from Fort Erie. 20-cent pick 4 starting with the second, and we're in that final minute ahead of post time. With that, the party continues. Let's get out to Thistledown as they're getting set for their Monday opener. Taking a look at the conditions here for race number 1. Non-winners of 2 lifetime, an allowance event going the 6 furlongs for the 3-year-olds and up. Yet to win 2 races. So pretty simple there. On the wagering side of things, the 50-cent pick 4 and the $1 pick 3 starting here with the opener. My top selection, playing the chalk here, the number 2 Sky Pass. Just having that early speed, and the speed figure's very impressive when you stack up this runner against the competitors at plus 120. You're still getting that plus money. Has been really close at the level prior. I think today's the time.
6-5 comes in with 1 win and 11 starts. Finished 3rd in the last out, a winner 3 back. There was the 1 on the screen sitting at 14-1. Bit of a long shot there, has some early speed. The 2 is the favorite. The 3 also taking some money at 3-1. Comes in with 1 win and 22 starts. Finished 3rd in the last out. Had a runner-up performance, 3 backs, so some recent form for the 3.
Yeah, if you're looking at the 3, probably want to see a bit of early speed going forward. Give us a bit of a target to run at. I just don't know if we're going to get that early lick. Not a lot signed up here. The 4, Tap Valley, sits at 15-1. Last couple of starts, a little concerning. Has looked a little tired, so could be due for a bit of a rest. We've got the 5, Alter the Stars. Maybe this could be the early speed of the field. Gets a bit of class relief here today, but 11 of 11 last out, going in the wrong direction over there at Churchill, but comes across to a much softer circuit at Thistledown.
How about the 7 who we just saw on the screen at 7-2? 1 for 1. So only one start, but did finish as a winner and pretty much was in lead the whole time with the runner-up in the mix there. But 1 win and 1 start for the 7.
Hey, perfect record, perfect racing resume. Let's see if we can carry that on through here today. For the 7 at 4-1, going against other winners for the first time, certainly going to be a step up, but really tough to knock that first victory back there on the 18th of September and gets the same distance back here today for race number 1.
With that, we're almost set, just waiting on the outside runners to load into the gate. There goes the 5. The 6 sitting at 9-1. Loads in, has 1 win and 15 starts. And the 7 that we mentioned making the second start here today. We will send it out on course. This is the opener from Thistledown.
And Lumiere to the outside gate that we are ready for Monday. Locked up. And they're off. Kind of an awkward start for Tap Valley. Good start for Mexa-Texifornia and Sky Pass from the inside. They have speed. Permafrost is away with that front flight. Alter the Stars is up and on the pace as well with Libertango. It's Tap Valley who now has 1 behind him, and that is Lumiere. They're east down the backstretch, half-mile pull, Sky Pass in front. Mexa-Texifornia punches through on the rail to challenge. Permafrost is 3 deep, Libertango 4 wide. Alter the Stars, she's now behind a wall of horses. And then it's Tap Valley. That gray is sitting about 5 lengths off. And the trailer at the back of the pack is Lumiere, and Lumiere's about a dozen lengths behind. So Sky Pass has attackers on both sides, and Permafrost takes the lead. Mexa-Texifornia along the inside. Libertango in the pink silks is 4th. Top of the stretch, and Permafrost has made the move, and Permafrost grabs the advantage. Sky Pass is 2nd. Mexa-Texifornia 3rd. Then it's Libertango, late run from Tap Valley, but Permafrost is clear with a 16th to go. Tap Valley's into 2nd, but Permafrost with the big lead, and Permafrost is a winner. Tap Valley was 2nd. Photo for 3rd, probably Sky Pass. Libertango there as well.
3, 4, and a close for 3rd. The 3 Permafrost gets the win. 2 wins and 23 starts.
Well done if you had it up on top. We owe you one on slide tape delay. It's the 2nd from Fort Erie.
And they're off. Final Run for Love broke sharply. To his outside is Silent Summit. Up the inside, Nino de Mama looking for position with But I'm Not Yawning. Sing Dixie is racing wide, and the early trailer is Best and Final. Taking the lead now on the inside, it is But I'm Not Yawning, a half length better than Nino de Mama. Final Run for Love, bet down to 4-5, is pressing from the 3 path. It's a gap of 2.5 to Sing Dixie and Best and Final, who have overtaken Silent Summit. The opening quarter was 23 seconds flat, But I'm Not Yawning leads the way as they go into the turn. Final Run for Love is 2nd, now puts the Pink Shadow Roll in front, Nino de Mama between horses. Best and Final splitting foes, and Sing Dixie making a wide bid. It's well back to Silent Summit. Midway around the turn, it's Final Run for Love with a short lead from Sing Dixie and Best and Final, who's under a drive. Nino de Mama is well back and forth, But I'm Not Yawning has called it quits, and Silent Summit at the back. 3 across the track at the head of the lane. On the outside, it's Sing Dixie. Final Run for Love trying to find more. Best and Final is 3rd. Sing Dixie with the head in front. Final Run for Love 2nd. It's Sing Dixie with the advantage. Final Run for Love is trying, but Sing Dixie is going better. It's Sing Dixie and Kirk Johnson on top. Sing Dixie by 1 3/4. Final Run for Love 2nd, then Best and Final and Silent Summit. 6 furlongs and 1:13-2.
6.35 in the 2nd. Sing Dixie absolutely sung on them. Well done if you had the 6 up on top. We'll wait until those prices go official.
On the other side, more Monday Night Football bets. We're looking at anytime touchdown scores. 2 anytime touchdown bets when we return. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We've got more live racing coming up this hour. It's jam-packed. We've got the opener from Finger Lakes, more action from Parks, Fort Erie, Thistledown, and plenty of ways to play. Multi-wagering opportunities available here. We've got the start of the Pick 4 kicking off at Finger Lakes, not too far away, so get ready. Head over to the FanDuel Racing app. Perfect time to head over there for you new customers. No sweat, first bet up to $500. Scan that QR code. It'll take you over to the FanDuel Racing app.
We've got one football game, we've got 2 baseball games, divisional series, and 9 live races this hour alone. So really no shortage on tap. Let's start with Finger Lakes. Race number 1, allowance event for the 3-year-olds and up. On the distance of a mile, the course is listed as muddy, so certainly factor that into your handicapping. It will be tiring and taxing out here this afternoon. They're already out there on course. The 2 is a scratch. It's the 1 who we can see on screen here sitting at 4-5 as the 1 to beat.
Skylar's Starship comes in with a little bit of early speed, 2 wins and 9 starts. Your top endorsement here, sitting at -125, so is getting a little bit short. Second in the last out, 4th the time prior, did get a win back in June, and definitely has the advantage over the rest of the field. Hard to argue against the 1.
Yeah, a lot of green lights here. Koa, your jockey, sits at a 26% strike rate, has the early speed. The morning works have been really sharp, so a lot of ability, has the fitness and has the form. No surprises getting bet down here at 3-5. But let's see if we can make a case for a couple of the other threats here. The 5 sits at 9-5 as the second choice. That's Marty's Magic, who's had 2 very impressive wins back-to-back and looking to make it 3 straight here this afternoon. At the distance, just 1 for 1 in the money. So Luis Perez certainly has a live mount here at 9-5 in Marty's Magic.
How about My Cool Hand Luke, sitting at a bigger price of 6-1. That's the 3 horse. Should be sitting middle of the pack. Did get a win, 2 back. Gets the Lasix added today. 2 wins, 7 starts, 4th in the last one. Speed figures have to improve just a little bit, but the 3, not a bad option at 6-1.
Can always expect to see a big step forward running on Lasix for the first time. And that's what we get there with the 3. All right, prices across from Parks. The Monday opener, Why Not Babe, the 1, $18 and change for that $2 win investment. It was the 1 over the 7 over the 3. So well done if you had the 1 up on top or if you had selected on those multi-race wagers.
And that's why we got to listen to you, because you gave out Why Not Babe as the top endorsement. So what are we doing here? Are we seeing a price? Are we sticking with the favorite? Sometimes you got to know when just to play it cool.
From 18-20 to 4-5 here at Finger Lakes, I've landed on the favourite. So how do we find value behind a short price? Well, there's so many different ways to jump in and play at the FanDuel Racing app. If you want to play within the race, exactas, trifectas, very similar to the same game parlays, multiple outcomes within the one race, and that's going to bring a bit of value behind that favourite. Or across the card, you know, we've got the early Pick 4. If you've got an opinion so strong about the short price, the chalk here at 3-4, the 1, Skylar Starship, I would take the single, survive, advance, move on to the next one. And I do think we get a couple of tougher races as we move through the next hour.
The early Pick 4 kicking off here, 50-cent minimum. So betting on races 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're sticking with the favorite, the inside runner for race number 1. That is Skylar's Starship. Has that 2 wins and 9 starts, a runner-up in the last out. We made the case for the 5 at 9-5. Marty's Magic, 2 wins and 17 starts, back-to-back winning performances. Comes in with really good connections. I guess the knock on the 5 would be facing tougher competition here today.
Yeah, I think this board is spot on, though. The 2 big threats will be the inside runner and then the 5 at 9-5 there, Marty's Magic. And the price play, you highlighted My Cool Hand Luke running on Lasix for the first time. There's a couple of unknowns here, but we certainly have seen a bit of a top gear. If we can just find that version or show a bit more improvement at 6-1, My Cool Hand Luke could be getting set for a hot performance.
We haven't highlighted on the 4, who's loading into the gate right now. That Stop the Spread. Has some early speed, sitting at 6-1, though, for a reason. Just the 2 wins and 27 starts. I guess the case for the 4 would be 2 wins and the 3 starts out of Finger Lakes.
Gets back to the mile here today after a little wake-up call last out. Let's see how it all plays out. It's the opener from Finger Lakes. Good luck.
And they're off. Solo tonight broke about 2 lengths slow after hopping at the start. Speed duel developing into that first turn. Skylar Starship at the rail between My Cool Hand Luke. And on the far outside, Stop the Spread. These 3 duke it out into that first turn with Marty's Magic watching them fight it out in fourth, and then it's a gap of about 5 lengths back to Solo Tonight, who's trying to come back from that tough beginning. The duel is on. Skylar Starship and Stop the Spread. 24-1 the opening quarter over the Muddy Going here. It's a gap of 3 lengths back to My Cool Hand Luke. Poised in fourth. Outside of him is Marty's Magic, and another half dozen back to Solo Tonight. The favorite, Skylar Starship and Cabracoa, half-length lead. Over Stop the Spread through a half in 47-3. They picked it up in that second quarter there as Marty's Magic begins to close in. My Cool Hand Luke's under a ride, so too Solo Tonight. Midway on the far turn, it's still Skylar Starship and Stop the Spread. Marty's Magic looms large in third as the field makes their way to the quarter pole. Skylar Starship, Koa scrubbing on him. Stop the Spread. Here comes Luis Perez and Marty's Magic with a 3-wide sweep to the lead. 113 off the turn into the stretch. Marty's Magic gets to the lead. Skylar Starship battles back past the 8th pole. It's down to these two. Skylar Starship. Here's Marty's Magic. 16th pole. Marty's Magic put his head in front. Skylar Starship battles back. Marty's Magic. Skylar Starship. Marty's Magic. A half ahead. Then Skylar Starship, My Cool Hand Luke, and Stop the Spread. Final time for the mile was 140-1.
5 over the 1. Marty's Magic, the 5, gets the win at the opener from Finger Lakes. 3 wins in 18 starts.
The magic continues. We're going to sneak in a quick timeout on the other side. Who has the edge? Monday Night Football. Key positional matchups showing down. We'll discuss.
Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We've got more live racing with the second from Parks, not too far away. You can see your top endorsement there on the bottom right. You're going with the 4. Conditions real quick for this one. They're going to be going a mile and a 70. Non-winners of 2 lifetime for the 3-year-olds and up. But let's make the case. It's Surfboard with that early speed. 1 win and 16 starts. What did you like about the 4?
Grinding on those winners over here for a Monday. Surfboard just having that early speed gets Michael Sanchez in the irons. Was a runner-up last out. So I think the fitness absolutely supports, and we're still getting a really good price. This was one of the more competitive fields for the Monday afternoon. As you can see, your rider just off the 10 here. The assistants may try and coax this horse in a position, and then your rider will hop back on aboard. If you're looking to jump in and play, a lot of different directions to go here. The daily double and the pick 3. I love the daily double. If you want to keep it simple, essentially like a two-leg parlay, 2 races back-to-back here, race number 2 into race number 3. This one being for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. You can have that first career victory. If you've got 2, well, you step up to the next level of competition. So no surprises. This one looks to be wide open. The 8 at 9 to 5, I think getting a little too short. That's Run Corey Run. Andy Hernandez takes the start here. Back-to-back runner-up performances. So the public obviously a little biased towards the recency coming in here.
Looking at the 10, getting loaded into the gate right now. That Smooth player. 1 win, 11 starts. Did get the win, 2 back after finishing 5th in the last out. 3-year-old Colt just giving a little bit of trouble as they load in. A couple different ways to play. You mentioned the 8 being the favorite at 9 to 5. How about the 1 at 6 to 1? That's the inside runner. Comes in with 1 win and 17 starts, but did finish 3rd in the last out. Definitely has some recent forms, but has been a little boom or bust.
Yeah, well suited to the route distance, which we get back to today. Second off the layoff, so a bit more fitness. And as you can see there, if you're looking to jump in and play all of this great live action, you can find it all at the FanDuel Racing app. You'll find the talents, our team's top endorsements for each race with a couple of multi-tickets and a lot of great ways to jump in and chase that plus money. So the 1 at 6 to 1, couple of question marks, but I think that's a pretty fair price. Other alternatives here, the 4 surfboard top endorsement at 6 to 1. And if you're looking for the outlier, keep an eye on the 7 here. Hey, what's up? Should be setting the tone going through first call. Let's see if they can hold on.
Just waiting on the 9, Liberty Runner to load into the gate. Comes in with just the 1 win and 51 starts. We'll send it out on course. This is race 2 from Parks.
Off and racing. Bit of a slow start for 3rd watch. He broke awkwardly and then had to check up on heels. On the outside, Run Corey Run, some speed out of the gate. Hey, what's up goes right with him. Surfboard in on the rail. El DeLeo securing a spot in that 2nd flight. Then on the outside, Smooth player Bo in the back, followed by Double O Auto Road Call. And at the back, Liberty Runner and the unlucky 3rd watch. And it's going to be Hey, what's up, who has wrestled the lead away from Run Corey Run as they go through the first turn. Hey, what's up? Clear-cut lead. He has about 2 lengths over Run Corey Run. Then it's Surfboard, followed by El DeLeo. He's in 4th. Smooth player 5th. Bo in the back 6th. Then it's Double O Auto 7th. Road Call 3rd watch. And way at the back, Liberty Runner. They go through opening quarter 23 and 4. They head down the backstretch. And Hey, what's up? Has that 1 length advantage. Chasing in 2nd, Run Corey Run. Then Surfboard. He's a clear 3rd. Moving up, El DeLeo. He's in 4th. Smooth player to the outside. He's now taken that 4th position. They continue down the backstretch. A half-mile left to go. And Hey, what's up? Continues to lead the way. 49 and 1. Not really cooking on the front end. Surfboard's now in 2nd to the outside. Run Corey Run. They're all chasing. Hey, what's up? And it's Smooth player to the inside. El DeLeo. Double O Auto 3rd watch to his inside. Bo in the back. Then it's Road Call. It's still at the back. Liberty Runner. And Hey, what's up? Continues to maintain that lead. They go through the far turn. And Hey, what's up? Has done it pretty easily so far. Run Corey Run and Surfboard a pair in the red blinkers. They are chasing him in 2nd and 3rd. They go through the far turn at the top of the stretch. Hey, what's up? Surfboard comes up the inside. On the outside, Run Corey Run all out trying to reel him in. Hey, what's up? Digging in and finding a little bit more. He is game on the lead. Hey, what's up? They can't get by him just yet. A 16th left to go. He's trying to take them gate to wire. Hey, what's up? Surfboard in 2nd, but Hey, what's up? He's going to get the win. Hey, what's up? Surfboard, then followed by Run Corey Run and El DeLeo.
A massive price in race number 2 from Parks. The 7, Hey, what's up, gets the win, and you called this one going into the gate, going off at 50 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 was the top endorsement, but just before going to the starting gate, highlighted that was the only speed of this field. Watch out if we get on that front end uncontested. And that's what we found. You could see your rider, Alexander Crispin, just the ability to rate up in front, goes off there at a monster price. So well done if you had the 7 up top of race number 2 from Parks. We'll wait until those big payouts come across and become official. For now, we're bringing it back into HQ, talking a little Monday Night Football, MP.
Gonna be hard to beat a 50 to 1 price out there at Parks, but we've got Monday Night Football with the Chiefs taking on the Saints. You've already built a same game parlay. We got top props, and now it's time for your favorite anytime touchdown score, and you're on quite the streak right now. 11 of 13 last anytime touchdown scores. That is an insane stat. So you know what? Flex it all. I'm staying out of this segment. You're giving the 2 touchdown scores. Who's leading us off tonight?
Anyone would think by these shoulder rolls that your boy's getting set to cut it up there in the red zone. What about a little AK? Alvin Kamara, -110. He's already had 5 house calls for the season. He got back on the scorer's sheet last out, and this is going to be the offense. This is the DNA for the Saints if they want to be genuine contenders once we approach the business end of the season. But Alvin Kamara, he has absolutely turned back the clock. 50% of the scores for the Saints come from this guy. There's only 4 players with more carries inside the 20 yards in trying to take it into the house across the league. Alvin Kamara gets that production. He can do it with the wheels and the run game, and it can also get a couple of nice little receiving looks as well. So -110, close to being a best bet of Monday night.
How can you bet against AK? He's got over 100 yards from scrimmage in every single game this season. 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown for AK. Let's get a 6th tonight. How about another score? Are we sticking Saints? You got a Chiefs guy for me?
We're going to go to the Chiefs, and it's another home run hitter, Xavier Worthy, speed in bunches, and this is now going to be the #1 wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. No Rashee Rice. We know big Travis Kelce. He's going to see a lot of production, but Xavier Worthy, he's going to get a lot of nice looks here, going against a pretty strong secondary, but I do think they'll find a couple of ways to get him downfield. At +165, he's already had 2 scores for the season. He is primed for a primetime showdown. Absolutely gets his spot. A bit of a coming out party, if you will. I feel like for us bettors who are taking the Chiefs week in, week out, you know Xavier Worthy, but this kid's an absolute superstar.
You hate to depend on a rookie receiver, but Xavier Worthy is the X factor for the Chiefs. No pun intended there tonight. He's got the speed, and I actually wouldn't be surprised with not only the injuries on the receiver room, but look at the running backs. Pacheco not playing. Watch out for Xavier Worthy to maybe take a couple of carries, so he could potentially even get this with a rushing touchdown. Speed is definitely going to be in bunches for Xavier Worthy tonight.
The X factor are worthy of a little sprinkle. Maybe he could be doing the shoulder rolls there as well. 2 of my favorite anytime touchdown scorers, Xavier Worthy at +165 and Alvin Kamara for the Saints at -110. A nice little way to watch out the game. A bit of a sweat, but a nice return.
Points, 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 and maybe take AK to have the first anytime touchdown to boost those odds just a bit. You're expecting points in this one. Chiefs, Saints at +5.5. You think that they can keep it close. It's going to be a great matchup, and we hope that it's high scoring. We've got more live racing with race number 2 from Thistledown, so you don't have to wait for Monday Night Football. 3 minutes to post time for live races right here. A claiming event for the 3-year-olds and up, going the sprint of 5.5 furlongs.
We'll take you through a post parade so you can get eyes on all of the competitors here. 3 minutes out from post time. 9 winners of 2 lifetime. Here's the one Salter, currently sitting at 7-1.
Comes in with 1 win and 9 starts. Does have a little bit of early speed. 5th in the last out, 6th the last 2. So sitting at 7-1 for a reason. Here's the 2, Buckster at 14-1. Also has some early speed. The public moving against the 2 was at 4-1. Now at that big price of 14-1.
Perez takes the ride there of the 2 today. Next up, Mashindi, the 3, the 4-year-old gelding, knows nothing but in the money for the 2024 campaign.
Here comes the 5, Awesome Sun Fun. That is a fun name to say. 23-1. Bit of a long shot here, 1 win and 4 starts.
Sir Mason, the 6, at 27-1. Victor Fernandez aboard for the ride. Panthera's Fate, a bit of early speed from out wide here and continues to firm up there. The top choice of the public sitting at 1-5.
The 4 is a scratch. That is your field for race number 2 at Thistledown. The 7 sits as your 1-5 favorite. 2 minutes to post time, 2 minutes to get those wagers in. And on the other side, we're not done talking Monday Night Football. We're going to go position by position to see who has the edge between the Saints and the Chiefs.
what a weekend it was. The Fall Stars in full flight out there at Keeneland. Lexington looking fantastic. And another great reason to jump back in and play this week. We've got the early pick 5 carryover coming back in for Keeneland. Race number 1 on Wednesday tips us off. Races 1 through 5. First post, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can watch and wager right here on FanDuel TV. $265,000 already in that starting pool. Take a look at what we have on tap. The Sycamore Stakes on Friday. The party continues with the Queen Elizabeth on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the Grade 2 Franklin Stakes. With that, let's get back to the live action. They're almost set for a start. It's the third from Fort Erie. Let's get out there.
Last in will be Best in Class and Kirk Johnson. All set. And they're off. Perfect Lacombe dwelt at the start. Showing speed from the center is Forest Flash with Drill Hall. Here comes a rush up the inside from Sailing the Islands. It's 3 across the track in the early running. Best in Class is racing on the outside in 4th, sharing position with Java Power, and it's a gap of 7 more to Perfect Lacombe. Midway down the backstretch, it's a duel up front between Forest Flash on the outside of Sailing the Islands. Drill Hall is taken back to a stalking spot in 3rd, 2 lengths off the leaders as they complete the opening quarter in 22 and 3. Java Power is 4th on the inside of Best in Class, and it's still well back to Perfect Lacombe. Forest Flash keeping a short advantage on Sailing the Islands. The lead is now a half length, now a full length. Drill Hall is racing in 3rd. Well back to Java Power and Best in Class, and still at the back, Perfect Lacombe. 46 and 1 to the half. They swing for the drive, and it is Forest Flash and Michael David on top. Sailing the Islands looks beat from 2nd. Drill Hall 3rd. Here comes Perfect Lacombe trying to make a late rally. Up by 3 lengths, it's Forest Flash. Forest Flash and Michael David have the lead. Perfect Lacombe with a late rally, but as they come down to the wire, they're not going to get to Forest Flash. Forest Flash wins by 3 at the wire. Perfect Lacombe 2nd, then Sailing the Islands and Drill Hall. 6 furlongs in 1:12 and 1.
4-3-2, the 4 Forest Flash gets the win, breaks the maiden, and the 12th career start.
Live racing continues from Thistledown. They're set for the 2nd of the afternoon. If you're playing along, best of luck.
And they're off. Pantera's Fate with a good start. Sir Mason has early speed, so it's Sir Mason in front of Pantera's Fate. Mashindi's away racing with Boxster and Salta, and that is Awesome Sun Fun, who trails the field. He sprint down the backstretch half-mile pole as Sir Mason is cleared, opening up 2.5 on a line of horses that include Salta, Boxster, Mashindi, and Pantera's Fate. And the gray gelding, Awesome Sun Fun, 6 lengths behind Sir Mason. 3 furlongs to go. Sir Mason in front. Pantera's Fate is right there in 2nd with Salta on the inside racing in 3rd. A gap back to Mashindi in 4th. Boxster's at the back now, racing with Awesome Sun Fun. Sir Mason in front. Pantera's Fate takes aim. Salta looks to get through on the rail. Mashindi is back in 4th, and it's Awesome Sun Fun and Boxster. Here comes Pantera's Fate to challenge Sir Mason with a furlong to go. Pantera's Fate takes the lead. Sir Mason is tired. Here comes Salta, who's moved to the outside, and Salta's coming with a big run. Pantera's Fate and Salta. Salta up in time. Pantera's Fate 2nd, Sir Mason 3rd. Mashindi ran 4th.
1-7-6, the 1 Salta gets the win. 2 wins and 10 starts from the 2nd at Thistledown.
Well done. Big run there as they turn for home. You can just see the 1 scooting up, finds a bit of a racing seam, looking for a bit more, jumps towards the outside of the 7. The 7 looking fantastic, but starts to shorten up in stride. It's the 1. Once we got on that right lead, found a bit of momentum and finished him off, going off there at 3-1. So it was the 1 who gets the score in race number 2 from Thistle. And with that, we're going to bring it back in to headquarters here at FanDuel TV. Take a look, social media ablaze. SPN, my guy, always loved the energy that our friends, yours truly and MP, bring in on a Monday.
Look at that. That's nice. All right, now pressure's on. We have a Who Has the Edge segment. We got to get hyped for this. It's Monday Night Football. It's Saints Chiefs, and you've already given out, what is it, 7, 8 plays for this game? We're ready to go.
Yeah, there's no shortage. And Sean, you're always seeing them well, so let's see if we can do the same. Key positional matchups. If we can find the edge, this is where we could find value at the FD Sportsbook. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Do we overthink this one?
Don't overthink this. It's Patrick Mahomes versus Derek Carr. Derek Carr, he's been pretty good, a really good play-action passer, if you will. No harm there, no hurt towards Derek Carr, but Patrick Mahomes still the best quarterback by far in the league. Even with no weapons, even with no receivers, he still finds a way, and that's what makes him the greatest right now playing, is he's going to scramble. He'll find ways to connect with whoever's out there, and if not, he'll do it on his own with his own legs. Patrick Mahomes, let's not overthink that.
The running back's a little beat up there for the Kansas City Chiefs. AK trying to turn the clock back. Who's going to have the edge?
AK has turned the clock back over 100 yards from scrimmage in every single game this year. We didn't even think he was going to play last week. He plays, he looks good. Alvin Kamara definitely gets the running back advantage, and it's because he's not just a running back. He literally is a receiver as well. Not only can he line up as a receiver, but he's going to run the routes like a true wide receiver one, and obviously what he can do yards after contact. And for the Chiefs side of things, yeah, no Isaiah Pacheco, so it's going to be Kareem Hunt, it's going to be Samaje Perine, and neither of those guys stack up against AK-41.
The tough positional matchup for Monday Night Football, it's going to be a battle of the wide receivers. Shaheed Olave have looked pretty strong. Xavier Worthy has looked fantastic in his own right.
I love this matchup for the Saints receivers, so I'm going to give it a little combine of Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed for the wide receiver advantage. I really love the matchup. We mentioned it. It's going up against a Chiefs team that runs a lot of press man coverage, which is really going to help the Saints offense explode. That's where you're going to see those mismatches. So guys like Olave, Rashid Shaheed are going to find ways to get open and then get Derek Carr the ball. He throws it long to them. And for the Chiefs, I mean, they really are in wide receiver trouble. They do not have enough weapons, and even with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback, eventually the injuries pile up. So no Rashee Rice, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he's not going to be playing this season. So Xavier Worthy, the rookie who no one even heard about until the combine, he's got a lot of pressure for Monday Night Football.
Looks to be an absolute track star. When we talk tight ends, it's Chiefs, it's Monday Night Football. The big mail coming across is Taylor Swift missed Killer Trav's birthday party over the weekend, but is set to be there for Monday Night Football. Do they have the edge?
Yeah, Travis Kelce has the edge, and I'm sure it's fine. They can have their own celebration whenever. I don't understand the Travis Kelce bad talking, I guess we can say, because Travis Kelce is still an elite tight end. He is not going anywhere. Last week we saw this, 89 yards for Kelce. And for Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest things about him is his ability to spread the ball. Well, when you're down a few receivers, when you're down a running back, you're going to go to the guy that you've got the best chemistry with, and that's Travis Kelce. And so the first 3 weeks didn't look great for Kelce. The production's going to increase, the targets are going to increase, and I think Travis Kelce goes off tonight.
Is that the strongest combination we have in the league, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce?
It still is. I know a lot of people want to say it's over, he's washed. Just wait. The Saints are doing everything tonight. Dennis Allen is going to do his absolute best to contain Travis Kelce.
Defense wins championships. Defense could win Monday Night Football. Who's going to be the stronger unit?
I'm giving the defensive edge to the Kansas City Chiefs. You know who the Saints are worried about tonight? They're worried about Chris Jones, the 5-time Pro Bowler, 6'6", 310 pounds. And you know why they're even more worried about him tonight? Is because they won't have their center, Eric McCoy. So the mismatch for the Chiefs defense versus the Saints offensive line, you're definitely giving the edge to Kansas City. They come in, Steve Spagnuolo, already a big threat when you look at the secondary, but that pass rush, that blitz is going to be coming at Derek Carr. So the Chiefs are going to try to win this game on defense.
3-2, the Chiefs over the Saints there. The odds makers are telling us it's going to be a close one. The Saints grabbing 5.5, going in to Arrowhead for Monday Night Football. A lot of different ways to jump in and play at the FD Sportsbook. With that, we're going to sneak in a quick timeout, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we're taking it to the diamond. We've still got playoff baseball in the mix. 2 games on tap with best bets coming up.
The one Tivoli Garden still acting up as Luis Perez climbs aboard. Now Lindsay goes forward. They're in the gate. And they're off. A little bumping there at the start between Charge Nurse and Misty Gale. It's squeezed 40 Smooth to the back of the pack. From the rail, there goes Tivoli Gardens to the lead. Tivoli Gardens a length on Our Girl Faith, who's second. A 3 wide. Charge Nurse tries to save some ground into that first turn as 40 Smooth moves up towards the back of the pack now. 40 Smooth is actually at the back of the pack. Moving up along the insides, Misty Gale. She found herself to the rail. And a 3 wide, Lindsay, as they're really going at it. 24 and 3 for that opening quarter there as they come out of the sun and into the shadows here at Finger Lakes. Up the backstretch led by the favorite Tivoli Gardens. Our Girl Faith is a half length off her. Charge Nurse is a half length off her. On the far outside, Lindsay's a half length off her. In the meantime, Misty Gale and Stephen Fred have saved all the ground. They just moved up into fourth. It's about 7 more back to 40 Smooth, who was affected by the bumping at the start. They make their way to the far turn through a half in 49 and 1/5 second. It's still Tivoli Garden. There's plenty of room at the rail for Misty Gale if she wants it. A 3 wide Charge Nurse is under a ride. Between is Our Girl Faith. Then we drop back to Lindsay, and nothing yet from 40 Smooth. They're on the turn, and Tivoli Gardens has put away Our Girl Faith. She's dealing with Charge Nurse to her outside and Misty Gale to the inside. She's squeezing on through 3/3 in 1:14 and 2. Off the turn into the stretch. Charge Nurse made the lead. A nifty move from Misty Gale. Stephen Fritz shot her through there, and they have a half-length lead. Charge Nurse trying to re-rally after her past the 8th hole, but Misty Gale has a length. Misty Gale. Charge Nurse battles back. Misty Gale past the 16th hole. Charge Nurse again. Misty Gale and Charge Nurse headlong into the finals. 15 yards. Dead tight. Looked like Charge Nurse may have gotten her chestnut nose on the line over Misty Gale. Photo finish. Final time was 1:46 and 3.
A close one in the second from Finger Lakes between the 4 and the 5. I know a lot of people hoping it's the 5 and 18-1 price, but it looked to be the 4 Charge Nurse who would make it 4 wins and 14 starts. I'm not calling it.
Yeah, we're second off the layoff here today. Charge Nurse the 4. I think the 4's just going to get this one at the wire. It was the 5 on the inside on the rail. The 4's just finding that late surge across the wire. It's going to come down to the nose, to the bob. I'll stick with the 4, but hold all tickets. We've got a photo for the win between the 4 and the 5 from race number 2 at Finger Lakes. We've got some great racing. We're seeing some big prices coming through. We've got playoff baseball. We've got Monday night football not too far away. So it's now time to play another game. We were playing charades earlier. Now it's time for a little true or false. Will the Chiefs keep their undefeated season intact, taking on the Saints? Not one of our questions, but I'll ask you that one, MP. Will they?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm staying away from the game. I feel like you could go either way. Saints, though, you did make the case. There is a lot of edge on offense. Clint Kubiak coming in, totally changing the way that they're running things there. They've got some great receiver depth. And on defense, though, Chiefs do have the edge. So I think either way, we are in for a great Monday Night Football game.
5.5 is the number there. The Chiefs at home looking to stay undefeated. Time to play a little true or false. Let's start with the hottest player in the business, Travis Kelce. Is Travis Kelce, star tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, a wash?
False. Can we take it easy? I don't understand the recency bias from fans in the NFL. Give the guy a break. He is the best tight end currently playing, and I understand weeks 1 through 3, it wasn't great. It wasn't Travis Kelce's all-star numbers, but he's coming off an 89-yard game, and we know one thing about Travis Kelce. It's kind of like when we watch these guys in the NBA or even the MLB. The regular season, maybe they kind of are on minutes restriction, but then in the postseason, they really heat up. How about whenever guys are injured, they really heat up? And Travis Kelce knows that he's got to step in today. Xavier Worthy and him are going to be the 2 guys that Patrick Mahomes will be targeting. Travis Kelce is not a wash. Talk to me tomorrow when he's got over 100 receiving yards.
Can I not be that guy and say there's a couple of distractions? You know, Swift, the podcast, making millions off the field. Okay, so Travis Kelce is not. Oh, we get worked up ahead of Monday Night Football. is Monday Night Football. Saints going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this a trap game for the undefeated champions?
Trap game, trap game. I love a trap game, and the Chiefs are -5.5. But watch out, Kansas City fans, because the Saints are marching into town, and New Orleans is ready to go. And the 2-2 record for the Saints, I don't feel like it gives them enough credit. They are clicking on all cylinders, which is what you want to see. AK being the star of that show. But really, you got to give credit to Dennis Allen, who's coming in and really revamping this defense. Clint Kubiak, the new offensive coordinator, finding ways to really utilize play action pass. I think there's a lot of matchups in this game, as we mentioned, the Saints receivers versus man coverage secondary that the Chiefs have. This could definitely be a trap game spot for the Chiefs.
I like it. We're seeing it the same on that one. Okay, third, final question here. Alvin Kamara. Is Alvin Kamara the DNA for this Saints offense? Do they only go as far as his run game can carry them?
I hate to say this, but I agree. AK is the heart. He's the DNA of this Saints offense. When AK is not playing, it is a completely different scheme. And that's because you have to be in trouble. You've got to be afraid of the run game with AK. And not only what he does as a running back, but as a receiver. He completely sets the tone. He allows for the play action pass to have success. And then because that's so successful, that's what opens the field up. That's what gets guys like Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed open. Derek Carr has a lot of weapons. And it's a great marriage that we're seeing between Clint Kubiak, Derek Carr, and Alvin Kamara, but Kamara being the heart of that.
One false, two trues, one more.
Two truths and a lie?
You're excited for Monday Night Football. True or false?
That is a true. This is going to be a fantastic game. I am excited. I think we see a lot of points in it, like you mentioned, and ultimately the Saints are going to be heated, ready to go.
It's going to be a close one. Go and get those tickets in at the FD Sportsbook. A lot of different ways to jump in and play. That's true. True or false? That one is true. Some great prop markets offered up for Monday night. Let's get back to the live racing. Fresh off a 50-1 winner in the second. Let's look ahead to race number 3 from Parks. Just a minute to post time for this one. They'll be going the distance of 1 mile and a 16th out there on the dirt course, listed as fast. The inside runner, the one, they're sitting at 7-5 as the one to beat. You can see they're already out there on course. Getting a good visual here of the 4 sitting at 7-2.
The 4 comes in with 7 wins and 44 starts. Jack O'Hare, 6-year-old gelding, 5th in the last out, a winner 2 back. There's the 5 sitting at 9-1. Carnivore was sitting at 8-1 on the morning line. 3 wins, 43 starts, 4th in the last out, a winner 3 back. But you're on the favorite. The inside runner sitting at 7-5. El Hermano has 12 wins and 57 starts.
Francisco Martinez is your rider aboard the inside runner. They're just having that tactical speed. I think going to be well suited in this spot at 7-5. Continues to shorten up. You highlighted one of the other runners, I guess a jockey to watch with the 5 here. Carnivore gets Chris Elliott in the irons. We're going to catch up with Jessica Parquet, track announcer out here at Parks, not too far away, but this was one of the riders to watch out for as we move through the meet there. So Chris Elliott really having a good run. Let's see if we can make it win number 4 in the 44th career start here for the 5-year-old today. That is Carnivore, the 5. The good pilots, the good jockeys in this game really know how to turn around the struggles of certain runners. They can maximize the most and certainly bring out the best with that experience. A couple of other directions to go here. The outside runner, the 8 sitting at 9-2. That is Wizard Sarah. The morning works have been sharp leading back in for this one. 3rd off the layoff. So let's see if we can get back into the winner's circle of back-to-back runner-ups.
The 8 Wizard Sarah, as you mentioned, 6 wins and 35 starts. Back-to-back runner-up, 3 runner-up performances in a row for the 8. Now sitting at 5-1. The 1 still sticks as the favorite at 6-5. That is El Hermano with the 12 wins, 57 starts. Has had a pretty good record here at Parks as well with 7 wins and 30 starts. 7 wins 31 times at the distance as well. We just await the outside runner. We will send it out on course. This is race number 3 from Parks.
And now they're all in. Off and racing, perfect start for this field of 8. In between horses, Jack O'Hare bounds up to the lead on the outside. Mucho Macho Eddie being asked to keep up on the inside. El Hermano, he's settling into 3rd. Wizard's Rats up close today. He's in 4th. In between horses, Carnivore, Twixter, and in Thrail, True Dakotan. As they make their way into the first turn on the inside, Jack O'Hare, he has some company. Mucho Macho Eddie just off of his flank. He's in 2nd, about a length off. Then El Hermano, he settles into 3rd. Wizard Surratt, Tiwanot Pass right to his outside. Carnivore to his outside. Twixter, and then at the back, True Dakotan. They go through the opening quarter 24-2 and head down the backstretch, and Jack O'Hare still under a pretty tight hold. Mucho Macho Eddie, he's just half a length off. He's up to challenge, moving up now into 3rd. Wizard Surratt to the outside. Twixter, he's in 4th. El Hermano, then it's Carnivore, Tiwanot Pass. They're all tightly bunched together. Then at the back, True Dakotan, he can see them all. Mucho Macho Eddie sticks his nose in front. Jack O'Hare tries to counter, but Mucho Macho Eddie now has a narrow advantage. 50 flat for the half, less than a half mile left to go. Jack O'Hare's taking the lead back and diving in between horses. El Hermano, he's gotten the cue and he wants to go now. And El Hermano now has the lead to the inside. Jack O'Hare hanging tough. Mucho Macho Eddie, Wizard Surratt, he's back to 4th. Then Carnivore, he's in 5th. Tiwanot Pass, Twixter's dropping back, and True Dakotan still last. They go through the far turn, and El Hermano wants the lead, and he has it. To the inside, Jack O'Hare running a big race. Mucho Macho Eddie, he's backpedaling into 3rd and losing some ground. They go through the far turn. El Hermano with that big blaze, he's under an all-out drive. Jack O'Hare running a big race, keeping pace with him, and Jack O'Hare's taking the lead back, but El Hermano counters these two. Nothing separates them. Coming up the rail, Carnivore has some momentum. It's El Hermano and Jack O'Hare. Jack O'Hare wants the lead back. He has a 16th left to go. Jack O'Hare fights on gamely. El Hermano tries to come back. Jack O'Hare will not be denied today. He gets the win. El Hermano followed by Carnivore. Then a photo, Tiwanot Pass, Mucho Macho Eddie.
4-1-5, the 4. Jack O'Hare gets the win. 7 wins, 8 wins now, and 45 starts.
Scooball's on the mound for the Tigers, so it's got to be a good day for them, right? They are 22-10 with him on the mound. He's the best pitcher in baseball. Things are good. However, I am back in Cleveland as an underdog. They are way too good for me to fade in this spot. I also love taking plus money whenever I can justify it, and it's easy to justify with Cleveland. They have the 3rd best home record in baseball this year, and they also faced Scooball this season. In fact, they were the only team to get double-digit hits against him in a game, and they did not translate to runs, but I think they do this time, especially with Jose Ramirez, who is one of the best in the game. We know this, and he's also 9 for 21 against Scooball in his career with 4 extra base hits. So I'm going to trust that the leader of this team will come through for us. He has also been very dominant against lefties this season, and he's been much better at home. So are you with me? You can tail me or make the rest of your MLB bets right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
Divisional series continue in Major League Baseball. Thank you, Ali McCann, getting us up to speed with that action update. 2 games to play this afternoon. Detroit going against Cleveland, the Guardians, and the Kansas City Royals squaring off against the Pinstripes. And what about last night? The Dodgers and the Padres getting a little worked up, but this is what you want to see. It's October, it's playoff baseball, and a couple of our favorite Diamond plays.
October baseball is here, and I'm going to stick with the Royals-Yankees game. I'm leaning Yankees in this one. But my best bet for today is going to be overs. We're looking at the overs of 7.5. We saw 11 runs in game 1. Yankees now lead that series. And I think it's going to be all about the bats tonight. This is the time when you don't want to bet against guys like Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge. And the Yankees, by the way, they're trending towards the over. 7-1-1 the last 9. I get that there's a lot to like with Rodon, but Cole Reagans, by the way, this is just his 2nd postseason start. I know he had a great first one, but it's going to be a little bit of regression here. Rely on the bats. I'm taking over 7.5 for my best bet.
Some of the most exciting players in baseball you highlighted. I mean, Bobby Witt, he has been my guy. Plenty of offense. These algorithms, the odds makers, they're adjusting far too much. Don't be afraid to play that overs when that number comes down. All right, I'm going to take it out to Cleveland. The Guardians playing host going against Detroit. For the Tigers, I mean, Ali brought us up the lean here, the angle. It's Tariq Skubal out there on the mound. This guy's the best pitcher in baseball. Filthy, nasty, in command of that stuff out there on the hill. And what we saw from game 1, 6 Ks, could probably fly over that mark again here this afternoon. He looks well suited to playoff baseball. For the Tigers, they're licking their wounds. They'll beat up, but this is going to give them their best chance to win. So let's just play it straight up. Money line, -130. Detroit to pick up Game 2. Tariq Skubal, 18-4 through the regular season. He ain't afraid of anything, especially playing in October.
They're not going to have to rely on any offense because they have one of the best pitchers on the mound in Skubal, who's going to be going off tonight. So you like the Tigers. I'm leaning Yankees, but taking over in that game. But all in all, it is so exciting to have playoff baseball back in the mix. And how about the Dodgers?
Did you just say three-leg parlay for the 2 games today, or was that me?
Oh, are we throwing it in? A 3-leg parlay.
Let's go. Let's
Yankees,
go.
Tigers, overs. There we go.
Jump in, play along. It is a fantastic-looking Monday afternoon. New customers, what are you waiting for? Bet 5, get 200 in bonus bets guaranteed over there at the FD Sportsbook. You can play the playoff baseball, a little Monday night football, and you'll find that racing icon. It'll bring you to the sport of horse racing. We've got the next one coming up from Thistledown, the 3rd of the afternoon, 3 minutes out from a start time. It's a maiden special weight. 3-year-olds and up go on the 6 furlongs. The maidens in this great game still in search of that first career victory. So all of these runners trying to figure it out.
The outside runner, the 8, is the favorite, sitting at 5-2. But we'll take you through a full post parade where the 1 Smart Asset leads them out on course, sitting at 3-1. 10 starts, 7 finishes in the money, but this is a maiden special weight, so everyone looking for that first win.
I like the fact that the early speed, inside starting position should be well suited. Betty's June Gift, the 3 at 16-1 goes through, just worth a shot. The 4 also has a bit of that early speed. That should be where the pressure's coming from.
Here comes the 5, Olympic Wings. Should be sitting in the middle of the pack, sitting at 9-2. Was a 3rd place finisher last out.
Appalachian Spirit is the 6. Was 3-1 on the morning line. Now drifts out to 8-1.
Here comes the 7, JP Indy, sitting at a big price of 15-1. 11 starts, just the 1 finish in the money.
That is your field for race number 3 coming up from Thistledown, just a minute out from post time. With that, we've got time to sneak in a quick commercial, but don't go anywhere because on the other side, we're talking all things Breeders' Cup and a contender to watch just 25 days out. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. Track announcer from Parks, Jessica Parkett. Vacation is over. Thrilled to be back in my booth and ready for a great week of racing. Jess, was it really a vacation? Were you not across the pond running some marathons?
I was in Germany running the Berlin Marathon, so not exactly a relaxing vacation, but I got to see some wonderful things. Certainly ate my way through Germany as well. It was a great trip, but thrilled to be back. Gabe Brewitt, big thank you to him for filling in and enabling me to be able to go chase my 5th marathon.
Truly a special achievement, JP. I know we don't have a lot of time, but 5th marathon, just to run 1. You're now up to 5 and counting. Hats off to you. Let's turn it to the racing here for Monday afternoon. Race 4 on the Parks card. In terms of marathons, well, we're not getting that. We're just going the 6 furlongs. The favourite's the 2 here, but you've landed on the inside runner. Give us the sell.
Hope Springs Eternal with a first-time starter, the one Jaden's honor. Bobby Ann Hawthorne can flat out train a racehorse. I have a ton of respect for the way she operates, the way she develops these young horses as well. And this one gets the apprentice allowance. Christopher Elliott will be aboard. And mark my words, a year from now, we're going to see Christopher Elliott riding in some very big races. He is a talented young rider.
Certainly is. A name to watch there, bettors, if you're looking to jump in and play the Parks card. So it's the one in race number 4. Race number 5 didn't look so easy in trying to come up with that top selection, JP. You've landed on Miss Jones, the 7 at 5-1. Another price.
Miss Jones, now this one will be carrying those iconic silks of Someday Farm of Patricia Chapman. This is the homebred. And the way that the Chapman family shared Smarty Jones with all of us 20 years ago. A couple of weeks ago, we got to see a documentary on Smarty Jones' epic Triple Crown run. And it brought me right back to those moments as a young fan and all that horse did to bring horses into the sport. So Miss Jones carrying on that legacy, I think really interesting here. John Service can certainly get a horse ready for a debut effort as well. Frankie Pennington will be aboard. I think this one probably wants to go a little bit longer than 6 furlongs, but I'm very intrigued.
A price play there. Miss Jones, the number 7 in race number 5. JP, good to have you back in the booth. Well done again, and best of luck for Monday afternoon.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
The one and only Jessica Parquet. If you're looking to jump in and play the next, all those top endorsements, you'll find them over at the FanDuel Racing app. A little closer is the 3rd from Thistledown. You can see they're already out there on the track. The favourite's the inside runner, MP, currently sitting at 9-5.
Currently at 9-5, getting a good look at the outside runner, the 8 at 3-1. Race number 3 from Thistledown. It's a maiden special weight, so everyone looking for that first win. For the 6 furlongs, 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. The 1 at 2-1, Smart Asset, has 7 in the money finishes and 10 lifetime starts.
We can see the 3 just getting a little worked up behind the starting gate. That's Betty June's Gift. Roberto Perez is your rider. We'll just jump back on now that the 3 has loaded into position. There goes the 4 at 9-1. This one really feels like it's up in the air. Maiden special weight, go on the 6 furlongs. I've landed on the inside runner. There's the alarm. It looks like we're getting set for a start. If you're playing along, best of luck. It's the 3rd from Thistledown.
And Flame for Real to the outside gate. Locked up. And they're off. Smart Asset on the rail began well, and so did JP Indy outside. There goes Flame for Real making a bid for the front. Just Worth the Shot is out in 4th with Gaitha's Song sitting in early 5th with 5 furlongs to go. Appalachian Spirit is just off the pace, racing with Betty June's Gift and Olympic Wings. Flame for Real, 4 furlongs to go, and Flame for Real leads by 3. That's Gaitha's Song up on the outside into 2nd. Smart Asset on the inside is 3rd. Betty June's Gift trying to move up on the inside. JP Indy is in that bunch, and so is Just Worth the Shot. Moving up on the far outside, Olympic Wings and Appalachian Spirit trails. 5/16 to go. Flame for Real in front. Gaitha's Song is in 2nd. Smart Asset back there in 3rd. Olympic Wings trying to rally on the outside. Then it's JP Indy. Betty June's Gift is 6th. Appalachian Spirit and Just Worth a Shot together. Flame for Real drifts out severely, so Gaitha's Song has to dive to the inside with a furlong to go. Flame for Real in front. Gaitha's Song is 2nd. Gap back to Olympic Wings in 3rd. Then it's Smart Asset 4th. It's still Flame for Real in front with 40 yards to go, but Gaitha's Song moving on the fence. Here's Gaitha's Song. Photo. I think Gaitha's Song got it. Flame for Real right there. Then it was JP Indy and Olympic Wings and a photo for 3rd.
It was a close one in race 3 at Thistledown between the 8 and the 2, but it looked to be the 8 going off at 3-2. Flame for Real, who would break the maiden in the 8th career start.
Really close finish off here. The 2 on the inside. The 8 had all of the momentum. before we didn't. I mean, in terms of the price discrepancy, 8 going off at 3-2, the 2 on the inside at 4-1. We have to wait until this one goes official. It's a photo for the win between the 8 and the 2 from the third from Thistledown. We owe you one on slight tape delay. Let's get back up to Fort Erie for the 4th. Good luck.
And they're off. They broke well. Dinah's flatter out a bit slowly. From the center of the gate, Fixture Hair Up Pretty is showing speed with Silent Princess. Deep on the course is Tap Room. Ghostly Perfection stalking along the inside from 4th. Then we have Dinah's flatter on the outside, and the early trailer will be Zodiac Beach. 3 across the track in the early stages. It is Silent Princess on the inside, Fixture Hair Up Pretty in the center, and Tap Room, the even money favorite, in the 3 path, now putting the head in front. Dinah's flatter has gained position on the outside with Ghostly Perfection working her way off the rail, and it's well back to Zodiac Beach. The opening quarter was 23-2. Tap Room is shaken clear. She's up by 2 lengths as they race towards the 3 furlong marker. Ghostly Perfection is racing in second between horses with Dinah's flatter on the outside and Fixture Hair Up Pretty 4th. Silent Princess is backing out, and it's still well back to Zodiac Beach, who has 12 lengths to make up on the leader. 46-4 to the half. Tap Room is trying to give them the slip. She's up by 4 as they swing for the drive. Ghostly Perfection out in the center of the racetrack. Fixture Hair Up Pretty is third on the inside of Dinah's flatter. Tap Room has the lead, but Ghostly Perfection is finishing well. It's Tap Room up by 3. Ghostly Perfection is closing. Fixture Hair Up Pretty third. Here comes Ghostly Perfection down the far outside. Ghostly Perfection and Edgar Zenteno drawing clear late. It's Ghostly Perfection by 2. Fixture Hair Up Pretty up for second over Tap Room. Then a late closing Zodiac Beach. 6.5 furlongs and 119 flat.
1-4-6 in the 4th from Fort Erie. It was the one much the best. We'll wait until those prices go official. For now, we bring it back in to the studio.
Breeders' Cup almost here, the first weekend of November. 14 races, the headline being the Breeders' Cup Classic with $7 million on the line. So we're looking through some of our contenders. City of Troy, one of the best racehorses right now in the world, comes in with great recent form, but is going to be out on the dirt for the first time. What have you made of City of Troy?
Side by Justify, I think absolutely well suited. Comes in for one of the biggest conditioners, trainers in the game. Aidan O'Brien with one of the top hoops in Ryan Moore, considered to be the absolute best in the business right now. When we talk about the buzz leading into the Breeders' Cup World Championships, this will be the buzz horse. City of Troy was absolutely dynamite last season, had a hiccup earlier this year, but let's take a look back